Shalom Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shabbarakatham to the brothers. Shalom Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shabbarakatah. Shalom Shema Thumb Hashem Yahweh Shah to the sisters. It is the ISUPK, it's the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Tonight is Brotherhood class. Tonight, scripture breakdown. We definitely going to talk about it. We definitely going to get into it, right? Now, what is our mission? What is the purpose of the Israelites, right? What exactly is the purpose? Our purpose and our goal is to go out and awake up the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Give me John, what's that? 15:24. Only sent to the lost to the Jews. Look, you have to understand that we have a mission, we have a job, and that job, it's a tough job, it's a rough job. And we should be fighting every day for the Most High. And the number one thing is to get in class. That's the number one thing. If you're saying you're in this truth, how you learning if you're not in class? If you're in this truth, where's the brotherhood? Why you mean to tell me you can't get to class? You can't find no time throughout the week to get in class? Come on, really? Really? So the question is, are you doing your job? Because we're doing our job. In the ISUPK under Commander General Yohana, we're doing our job. And that is our job. Our job is to wake up the lost sheep of the house of Israel, period. Hands down. That's what the whole New Testament is all about, is restoring Israel. Drop that. Give me Acts 1. Give me that Acts. Did you pull it up? Are you pulling it up or you just?
I will. I'm going to get to it here first. But you said Salakia. You need Acts.
Yeah, give me Acts 1 and 5.
Acts 1 and 5.
Give me Acts 1 and 5. And then we're going to get right into the class. Give me Acts 1 and 5. I believe it's 5. Now, the apostles, right? They was on their job. Hold on. Actually, verse 6. When after Yahweh Shah, which is known to the world as Jesus Christ, after he was resurrected, this is the first major question they asked our king. This is the first major question, verse 6.
This is the book of Acts, chapter 1 and verse 6. When they therefore were come together, they asked of him, saying, Lord, wilt thou at this time restore again the kingdom to Israel?
That's what it's all about, restoring the kingdom to Israel. But in order to restore the kingdom to Israel, it's not going to be easy. It's going to be a war, and the war is going to be real. And it's real, and we're going to define that war. That war is external and internal. It's both. It's inside and outside. It's the battle is coming from all different angles while we're trying to wake up the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And this goes out to those that claim to be awake just as well. Because those that claim to be awake, your battle begins when you are awake. That's when the war begins. Give me Ephesians 6 and 12.
I'm going
to give you the anchor of all of this. All right. I'm going to give you the anchor of all this. And as one would say, then we're going to unpack it. That's what we're going to do. All right. So we're going to go to Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 12. You want to get your precept book out. Remember, spiritual warfare is eternal and external. All right.
This is the book of Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places.
So what that's letting you know that, guess what? This battle, this warfare, these demons, they're organized. They're organized spiritual force. And they well oiled. All right. They on their job. Don't get it twisted. Satan is on his job. When the sons of God came and presented themselves to the Most High, Satan was right there. He was on his gig. He's on his job. So the battle that we are battling, these demons, is organized. It's an organized spiritual force. And this war is not imaginary. It's not imaginary at all. It's internal. So it's the mind and habits and your flesh, right? That's the battle from internal. And then it's external. It's the influences that are around you. Everything that you got to deal with, from the internet, from your friends in the world. If you have friends in the world, I don't have any friends in the world. I'm completely gone at this point. But if you got friends in the world, that's that pressure. That's that pressure. And guess what? This influence and this pressure, it creates a system. I'm going to show you. It creates a system. Remember, it's internal and external. That's what it is. And that's what we battle. All right. And remember, the main part of it all is it's in the mind. That's why, give me Hebrews 8:8. That's why this Hebrews 8 through 11, I believe it is so important. It's so important because that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. When you look at what Christ came to teach, he came to teach the spirit of the law. That's internal. But guess what? We don't think about the external influences that are around us. I was watching this movie, 40-Year Virgin, right? And in the movie 40-Year Virgin, the guy, the virgin, the guy is Esau. I don't even know his name. He came and left out his door. The moment he left out the door, a bus came by and it was sexual images on there. Then when he got on the bus, it was sexual images up on the wall. As he walked and got in the trolley, everywhere he went, when he went to the restaurant, their advertisement was sexual. Like right now, I don't understand this. This kills me. What in the hell? Why do we? I just got to ask this question. Why do they have male cheerleaders in the NFL?
They do?
Yeah.
I thought they don't do that.
No, that's what I thought too. But I'm trying to think what's the pressure of that? Who's at the crib that's a football fan saying, you know what? I need to see some men out here pom-pomming or cheerleading. Like, where's that coming from?
Oh, they put that in the NFL?
Yeah. Yeah, the 49ers, that's where I first seen it, and then I looked it up. There's a couple teams. You can look it up right now. You can look it up, and you'll see there's a couple teams that a couple teams that don't have it. I think Pittsburgh was one of them. You got that precept, because remember, we're dealing with the mind, and we're dealing with the pressure. We're dealing with the influence. All right. We're dealing with all those things that are around us, the internal and external things that we have to battle with every day. Go ahead. And this is why the Most High said this has to be done. This look, when Christ said those two commandments encompasses all of those laws. It encompasses every law. All of them. When you look at the 10 commandments, those 2 commandments encompasses the 10 commandments, which encompasses all the laws. Meaning, when I say encompass, meaning they are the principles. The main principles of what Yahawashi came to do was those 2 laws, which is the commandments, which is those laws that's in the old covenant. You got that up?
You wanted Hebrews 8:8, correct?
Khan.
Khan. This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 8 and verse 8.
I always got to read 8 and 8 instead of just going right to 11, because people got to understand who the covenant, the new covenant is for. So I always got to read that whole thing. Go ahead,
Khan. This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 8 and verse 8. For finding fault with them, he saith, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt.
So this is what the Most High come to do right here. This is that point that I'm talking about and why I'm bringing this precept up. All right. I'm talking about the internal, because everything starts internal. In order to submit, you have to first know, you have to first learn. You have to first learn what you have to submit to. So it has to be knowledge before submission. It has to be some form of resistance before submission. So verse 11 is why he came, and this is what he came to do, to give us the spirit of the law and to put it in our minds. Go ahead.
Because they continued not in my covenant, and I regarded them not, saith the Lord. For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel.
So this is the covenant right here. This is what it's all about right here. Go ahead.
After those days, saith the Lord, I will put my laws into their mind.
Into their where?
Into their mind.
Into their mind. That's that internal. Because if the mind is changed, then the habits are changed. But if the habits are not changed, then the mind is not changed. You're still doing the same thing. Go ahead. You got any more on that?
And write them in their hearts, and I will be to them a God, and they shall be to me a people.
Because what comes with that is obedience. When that new mind comes, then the resistance takes place, because now you have a new mind. Now you're in harmony with the Most High. Now you're in a proper covenant with the Most High. Just because you go to church every Sunday, but yet you an asshole at home, doesn't mean anything. Just because you speak in this unknown utterance that you say, but you an asshole at home, doesn't mean anything. Just because you say you in this truth, but yet you an asshole at home. Come on. Let's talk about it. So now let's deal with this mind. Let's deal with this internal. Give me a 2 Corinthians 10:3. Let's deal with the mind now, the internal warfare. All right. How could we? First of all, we gotta acknowledge it. We gotta know what we're dealing with. All right.
You said 2 Corinthians.
2 Corinthians, yeah, 2 Corinthians chapter 10. Let me get there. 2 Corinthians. Yeah. Corinthians 10. We're gonna start at, matter of fact, no, we're gonna start at 2. Start at verse 2. Because you know what? This is a big problem. Let me see. Yep. Start at verse 2.
This is the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 10 and verse 2. But I beseech thee,
go ahead.
I beseech you that I may not be bold when I am present with that confidence. You said 10 and 3, right?
Yeah.
I mean 10 and 2, right? Am I in the right spot?
Yeah, you're right. I beseech you. Go ahead.
But I beseech you that I may not be bold when I am present with that confidence, wherewith I think to be bold against some,
right,
which think of us. Which think of us.
This is how y'all be thinking. That think of us. Go ahead.
As if we walked according to the flesh.
As if we walked according to the flesh. This is what you thinking, because you are observing and you're not really understanding, because you're not a leader. Let me tell you something. It takes a leader to make leader decisions. And those that are behind you saying, listen, you're making bad decisions. You're leaving me. No, you're leaving me. You're behind me. You're following me. I'm the leader. I'm in charge. Just because you're not understanding my actions don't mean that I'm walking according to the flesh. And unfortunately, guess what? I can't even rap to you about really what it is because you can't let the old man go.
Right.
Because of your internal mind, the internal things, those bad habits that you done picked up from when you was in the world, and now you're saying you in the truth, but yet you're still leaning on the things that you did when you was in the world. That's crazy. That's wild. You know, in my line of profession, I meet a lot of people, especially a lot of people that say they Christians, and they'll tell me about a relationship that they was in. And they'll tell me about the things that happened in that relationship. But then they'll tell me about the new relationship. And when they're telling me about the new relationship, guess what? It sounds like the old relationship. So if it sounds like the old relationship, maybe you should look at you. Maybe it's you. Maybe it's you and it is really the old man. You're saying when you wasn't in this truth, this is how your relationship was. But now you're in the truth. And this is how your relationship is. It's the same thing with friendships with those that you say that are your brothers, those that you say that are your sisters, and your rib. I mean, we got to go there too, because those are facts. So don't think that we walking according to the flesh because you're not understanding. You the one is the problem. Keep going out.
This is 2 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
For though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh.
Uh-huh.
For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal.
What we're dealing with is not carnal. This is not a carnal thing. It's not an external thing. Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
For the weapons of our war are not carnal,
Mm-hmm.
but mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds.
Listen, these demons that we battle with, they are very well organized. These strongholds that we got to pull down, even in our mind. When you're dealing with the mind, you're dealing with what? The imagination, your thoughts. And what comes with those thoughts, it comes with the trauma that you dealt with prior to. All right. Those traumas that you had prior to, now you in the truth. Now you have to learn how to deal with those traumas according to the truth. You can't handle it the way that you handle it when you was the old you. So that is a mind thing. That is in your mind. That's recruiting those are recruiting thoughts that has come in, and now they were harboring and they was waiting. I don't know what type of ground you are. Are you a stony ground? Are you a solid ground? Are you a rocky ground? What type of ground are you? This is where that battle comes in at. This is where that war takes place. It's not a carnal thing. It's strongholds. It's those thoughts. It's that mental. Look, you have to in order to be victorious, it begins with mental discipline. Mental discipline. It's not just knowing. That mental discipline, you put it in action. You don't just allow it to hover. Go to Romans 8 and 6. You don't just let it harbor. You gotta get rid of that old mindset. You gotta get rid of that old way of thinking. It has to be gone. It has to be completely wiped out. And this is what you have to understand. You got it?
Salakia, 1 second, sir.
Let me see. Let me pull him up. Romans 8 and verse 6. Let's see. 8 and 6. This is what we battle every day. This is what your mindset should be tomorrow. When you get up, you got to think about this. You got to think about, listen, my battle is not carnal. It's strongholds. It's things that I have picked up. It's the residue that I have picked up throughout life, right? Those things, I have to find a way to deal with those things, and I can't deal with it the old way and expect different results. You got it?
Khan Adawan Khan. This is the book of Romans, chapter 8 and verse 6. For to be carnally minded is death.
So those thoughts, those ways of how you did things, it brings forth death because you're not following the commandments. Look, brotherhood extends beyond what we can possibly imagine within our lives, right? You can't say you keeping brotherhood, but yet you're doing little grimy things. You're doing little slimy things, and you don't think it's really slimy. But guess what? The brother is saying that, hey, listen, this is this ain't the way that it should be. How can you say that you're a brother if you're not keeping the brotherhood like you would want it to be kept with you? Like, okay. Look, read that again.
Khan Adawan Khan. This is the book of Romans, chapter 8 and verse 6. For to be carnally minded is death.
It's death. It's death. It's not, man. You're not storing treasures in heaven by being carnally minded. Those things that you did in the past and now you're doing it again. You're not storing treasures in heaven. You're manifesting death because that's what it manifests. Keep going.
Khan Adawan Khan. But to be spiritually minded is life and peace.
Is life and peace. And guess what? To be spiritually minded is to follow what Christ came to teach us, the spirit of the law. Brotherhood is about how you would want to be treated. Brotherhood is about what you would want to be said to you. If you don't want nobody to talk to you like that, why would you talk to me like that? Why would you do that? That's not brotherhood. That's not brotherhood. That's carnal. That's carnally minded. And guess what? It can manifest death because the scripture says evil contention, your tongue or something like that, cause it for strokes. Where's that at? Cause it for strokes. Hold on. Let's see. It's Proverbs 18 and 6. Proverbs 18 and 6. So that carnal minded, it manifests as death. Easy. And that small member, we're going to get to those members too. But that small member of that body that brings forth that carnal action of that old you, this is what it can manifest. You got it?
You still wanted me to go? You want me to get that?
Proverbs 18 and 6.
Khan Adawan Khan, sir. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 18 and verse 6.
This is why you got to watch what comes out of your mouth. This is why you got to watch what you say. Go ahead.
A fool's lips.
A what?
A fool's lips enter into contention, and his mouth calleth for strokes.
You can get your mouth ran in. You can get your mouth ran in easy. Pause. I'm talking about with the hands.
Right.
Straight up. You can. That's what that carnal minded that brings forth death, that's what it'll bring. Because guess what? After the mouth, after the strokes, you know it could come next. It can be an unaliving. So how demons are driven out? How are they driven back? How do we handle it? How do we handle this thing? How do we fix this carnal minded? Give me James 4 and 7. How do we fix this? All right. How is the demons driven back? How can we drive them back? How can we clean it out? How can we get rid of it? How can we fix it? The first thing you got to get in class. You can't be a Twitter finger all the time. You got to get in class. All right. You got to get out sometimes, like good night. I know it's hard. I know it's a struggle for a lot of people right now. You know what I'm saying? The way the economy is going, they just trying to scare everybody.
Right.
They got everybody like the lady that got ran over. They done put the little picture up of her. See the
Salakia, you mean the lady that
the lady that hit the ice, right? She hit the ICE officer, and now they want people. She got shot unalive, and now they want people to have sympathy for her, but they used the picture of her when she was married. They didn't use the picture of her now while she's living a gay lifestyle.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. They use the picture that they using now that everybody is seeing, and she like that's when she was married. She ain't down with that no more.
Salakia.
Go ahead.
If I could, and I know this might make a lot of Christians upset, but normally a man is going to protect his wife and his woman.
Mm-hmm.
So if she was still with her husband, she probably wouldn't even have been out there. But it's two, women out there that are filled with emotion,
right,
and not considering safety, and those are the results.
Yep. And I watched that whole little thing. It was a lot of little videos on it, and I thought it was interesting because they were trying to paint her as if, she didn't do anything wrong. My thing is, I don't like the fact that what ICE is doing.
Right.
But good night. She hit him. She hit him. You got that James 4:7?
Count out of one kind.
All right. So the question is, how do we fix it? That's where we at. How do we drive back these demons? How do we how do we get rid of these demons? You got it?
Count out of one kind. This is the book of James, chapter 4 and verse 7.
Mm-hmm.
Submit yourselves, therefore, to God. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you.
So the first thing you got to do is what? Is submit. Submit. All right. Remember, I said it earlier. The resistance is obedience. Obedience comes with discipline. And now that's how you become a disciple. Well, what is a disciple? A disciple is one that follows. All right. A disciple is a student. Right. So in order to submit to the Most High, always comes before resistance. So submission, Salakia, submission to the Most High always comes before resistance. Salakia, I was saying that back. It comes before resistance. So that resistance, like I said, it brings that discipline. All right. So read that one more time.
Count out of one kind. This is the book of James, chapter 4 and verse 7. Submit yourselves, therefore, to God. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you.
Listen, those commandments, they bring life. But those commandments is just, don't look at the commandments as the letter of the law, meaning from the surface. All right. You look at those commandments and now they are internal. They become a part of your lifestyle. So the way that you operate is just like if you want to cook something. If you want to cook something, give me 1 Peter 5 and 8 through 9. Let's say you want to cook something, right? If you want to cook something and you don't really know how to cook it, you're going to get the ingredients. You're going to get something. You're going to get the recipe. You're going to get something to help you to make sure that you put the right recipe in because you want it to taste a certain way. That's how it was introduced to you. So you want it to taste a certain way. So you put certain ingredients in and you make sure that you put the proper ingredients. You don't put a spin on it. You don't put a twist on it. Well, guess what? In order to fix it, in order to get away from that old way and start to submit, you have to first read the ingredients. And the ingredients is the commandments. And then those commandments, you put those commandments in. And when you put those commandments in, you're going to get the spirit of the law. And you're going to start to operate in it. It's just not going to be an automatic thing. And what I mean an automatic thing, you just saying it. You just repeating the law. You just saying, love thy neighbor as thyself, right? You just saying it, but yet you don't act it. You don't act it. So if you don't act it, now you just like a Christian. If you saying you in this truth and you doing that. Good, you got it out?
Khan. This is the book of 1 Peter chapter 5 and verse 8. Be sober.
Be sober. Be sober means to be clear-minded. Be sure of yourself. And the only way you can be sure of yourself is by being sure of the Most High, and you being sure of the Most High by understanding those commandments. The brotherhood commandment is so vital and so important, is because this is how our relationship be among our people. So in order to do that, you have to be sober, be clear-minded. Go ahead.
Be vigilant.
Uh-huh.
Because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour.
Now that right there is so heavy, because he's looking to rule over you. What's that in Genesis 4, where it talks about Cain? Go to Genesis 4 and 6. Look, let me tell you something. That lion that roars at the ground, that's the enemy. That's why he says, be sober, be vigilant. Who resists, stand fast in faith. That's 1 Peter. You got to be heavy on that. But that lion that roars at the ground, that's territorial. They want to come, and sin wants to rule over you. That's the whole objective. That's why it has to start with the mind. The mind has to be renewed. The mind has to be renewed, because sin, the enemy, it wants to rule over you. This right here is Cain. And this is when the Most High was trying to warn Cain not to do what he did. All right? You got it?
Sir.
Start at verse 6.
This is the book of Genesis chapter 4 and verse 6. And the Lord said unto Cain, why art thou wroth? And why is thy countenance fallen?
Mm-hmm.
If thou doest well.
If thou what?
If thou doest well.
You know how you can do well? By understanding and following those commandments, and understanding that the spirit of the law is just not on the surface, and it's internal. It's how you act. It's how you respond. It's your obedience. It's everything. It deals with everything, and it exceeds, and it blankets and covers all trauma. Read that again, huh?
Khan. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 4 and verse 6. And the Lord said unto Cain, why art thou wroth? And why is thy countenance fallen?
Mm-hmm.
If thou doest well.
If thou doest well, go ahead.
Shalt thou not be accepted?
That's that life. That's that life that we read about. That's not death. That's life. Thou shalt not be accepted. It's a question, because you will be. Keep going.
Khan. And if thou doest not well.
If you don't do well, if you deal and you go back to that carnal minded, if you go back to that old man, if you go back to that old way, go ahead.
Sin lieth at the door.
It's lying there waiting. It's lying at the door waiting. Go ahead.
And unto thee shall be his desire.
His desire is to rule over you. That's his desire. That's the war. That's the battle. Look, guess what? A lot of people in wars and battles don't get a chance to go behind the enemy line and see what the enemy is doing and saying, and how the enemy is going to attack. We got the scriptures. The Lord is telling us exactly what's going on and the strategy behind the enemy line. So he's letting you know that sin lieth at the door, and its desire is to rule over you. Keep going. You got anything else on that?
Khan, and unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him.
Look, this is where the battle comes. Are you going to rule? Are you going to be not carnal minded? What did I tell you to go to? You just came out of that first Peter piece, right?
Khan.
All right. So now let's deal with those old habits. Let's deal with those. Give me Romans 7:23.
Khan.
This is a hip shot right here. Hold on. Romans 7:23. So we're going to deal with how can we get this under control? We taking you behind the enemy line. We letting you know exactly what's going on. Isn't that the beauty of the scriptures? That's why the scripture says, God said, let God be true and every man a liar. All right. You got it?
Khan. This is the book of Romans, chapter 7 and verse 23.
Mm-hmm.
But I see another law in my members.
Now go ahead, read the whole thing, and then we're going to go back. Go ahead.
Khan. This is the book of Romans, chapter 7 and verse 23. But I see another law in my members,
Mm-hmm.
warring against the law of my mind and bringing me into captivity to the law of sin, which is in my members.
So now this is really heavily dealing with that old man, those old ways. Take it from the top one more time.
Khan. This is the book of Romans, chapter 7 and verse 23.
Mm-hmm.
But I see another law in my members.
Now that law is not talking about the Mosaic law. I don't want no dummies, Salaki. I don't want nobody to say, oh, no, this is not talking about the Mosaic law, right? Keep going.
Warring against the law of my mind.
Uh-huh. This is the principles. These are forces or operating rules, right? These are these laws, like, you know how you say how you used to do things, it became a law. It became lawful for you. All right. Read it one more time.
Khan. This is the book of Romans, chapter 7 and verse 23. But I see another law in my members.
So that, once again, that law is a principle, something that you stand on. You know how somebody say, I'm standing 10 toes down. They used to always say that. That's how they used to do things their old way. All right. Their old way. It became lawful. Keep going.
Khan. Warring against the law of my mind
Mm-hmm.
and bringing me into captivity to the law of sin, which is in my members.
See, your old ways, how you used to stand on things, it became a law for you. It became a principle to you. You know how give me a principle that Christians stand on. One of the principles that Christians stand on is Jesus is God. That's a principle. That's a law. No matter whatever you read, if you read something to them and you say in the scriptures and it says Jesus and the God and Jesus, or Jesus says he's the true, there's only one true God, they can't break it. They can't break that principle that Jesus is God. That's a principle now. That's a rule. They can't get out of it. Well, guess what? Your old way, the old way that you used to do things, give me James 1:14. The old way you used to do things have now become lawful. It has become a part of how you do things. And guess what? It has brought you into captivity to a law that manifests as sin. It's all in your members. It's all in your members. One of those big members is that tongue. That tongue is a mean member. He's a tiny one, but boy, is he mean. You know what you should start using? One of the members you should start using is the ears. Try to use those members a little bit more instead of the tongue. You feel me? Don't make and bring your old ways that was lawful to you on how you handle things to now. I keep saying it. I meet people all the time in relationships, and they always tell me this. It always sound like it sound like you standing on a dumb principle that you don't want to let go. That happens. You can't do that. You have to allow those commandments, that brotherhood commandment, to be internal. You know, the brotherhood commandment, it pours over into your marriage. Like how a brother treat his red, that's important. That's important. That's a part of that brotherhood. That's a part of the relationship, and vice versa. It's the same thing. You got that?
Khan out of one Khan.
Mm-hmm.
This is the book of James, chapter 1 and 14. But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust.
That your own lust, those are those old ways that's been in a spore. You know what a spore is? A spore is when a wax field surrounds a bacteria, and it protects the bacteria because the environment is unfavorable. But once the environment becomes and look, the environment when it's unfavorable is clean. It's clean when it's unfavorable. It becomes unfavorable when you're dirty. That's when it becomes unfavorable. Look it up. That's when it becomes unfavorable, and now it's spread now. It's spread now. That's the issue that we having. Every man that is tempted when he is drawn from his own lust. That lust, those things, those old ways, you're still harboring them. They still there. They're still there. They're not gone. They're not gone at all. So now, against the mind, give me Psalms 119 and 97.
Khan out of one Khan. One 119 and 97.
Okay.
Who's that checking in from Dover? Oh, that's it.
All right.
Go ahead.
Let me get there.
It's just a quick one.
Have to scroll down.
Go ahead.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 119 and verse 97. Oh, how love I thy law.
You gotta love this law. You have to. That's it.
Go
Go ahead.
Oh, how love I thy law. It is my meditation all the day.
That's what you should be meditating on. Because when you're meditating on that law, really, don't just say y'all follow the law. Don't just say that. It has to be a part of you. I feel weird when I see things that's not by protocol. I don't care what it is. I could be at McDonald's. I need to see order. I'm wired that way now. Yeah, everything is order now because the Most High has brought me into this truth and gave me the understanding that everything is done decent and in order. And these things have to be internal. Give me Ephesians 4 and 22. That old man is a demon. And guess what? For you, it has become friendly territory. It has become friendly territory. You got to get away from the friendly territory. You got to get away from the old you. That's what we got to do. And you know how we do it? Like meditating on the commandments. Don't just once again, that surface thing. Because, I hear a lot of people say they follow the commandments. Yeah, I follow the commandments. But yeah, you go to church on Sunday. Oh, I don't follow all 613, but I do follow the 10. Well, you don't go to church on Sunday. You don't go. You just don't go. Look, how can you say that if you claim that you used to go to church on Sunday, and when you was going to church on Sunday, this really happened, and this guy is telling me that he know it's a lie. He said he know it's a lie. He said, we gotta go. We're supposed to go to church. Well, go and worship the Lord. This is what he's saying on the Sabbath day. I said, all right, cool. That's good that you know that now. But yet he still go to church on Sunday.
Well, that's a heavy point. If I could, what you're bringing out is so heavy because it was a sister that I was talking to in the world, and she sent me something from her bishop, and like I looked at it for like 2 seconds, and I was like, he a homosexual, right? As soon as I seen it, right? So I told her. So I was like, let me make sure I ain't tripping. So I put it in the chat. I don't know if y'all saw it. I put it in the chat, and brothers came back like, yeah, he a homosexual. He a homosexual. Right. He a homosexual. And I told her, I said, hey, I put your bishop's I put his video into the chat just to see if I was tripping, when I said that he was a homosexual, and all the brothers confirmed that he was. And she said, well, I kind of did get that a little bit from him, right? So I was like, well, why are you still going to go to church then? Why are you still going to go to his church? I mean, do you think that that's somebody that you would want in charge of your spirituality to lead you to the Most High when you clearly see he's a homosexual? And she's like, well, I'm just still going to go. And she still go to church. She still go to the same church, even though she knows he's a flaming homosexual. And I remember General Muhammad, what you bringing out is heavy, because I remember when General Muhammad said, a lot of our people that's in like the Christian church and stuff, they know that stuff is wrong, right? But they just don't care. And when you can admit that to yourself, then you'll start to really be able to change. Constantly. Because most people don't want to admit that. Yeah, well, God said don't do it, but I just don't care that he said it. Right. So I'm gonna just do what I want to do, and I don't care. But you don't want to admit that out loud. But that's what you really feel. You know what I mean? Right. And what you're saying is heavy. That's a perfect example. She knows that this guy is a flamer, but yet she still goes because she can't let it go. She's so used to going. She's so used to going and used to going and used to going. Now it has become a law. It has become a law that is manifesting sin by her walking in there, praising with her mouth, doing all of that stuff in there. That's what's going on because she hasn't done this. You got it?
Khan Adawan Khan. This is the book of Ephesians, book of Ephesians, chapter 4 and verse 22. Mm-hmm. That ye put off concerning the former conversation, the old man.
The what?
The old man.
Listen, the way that you used to talk, that's the old man. The way your conversations used to be, that's the old man. You can't have the same conversations. You can't say you against homosexuality now, and now you're going to a church where the pastor is a homosexual. That's you not putting off the old man. Let me tell y'all something. Demons thrive off of anger. Demons thrive off of lust. Demons thrive off of pride. Demons thrive off of bitterness and fear. Demon thrive off those things. That's why when you get angry, you go back to your old you. When times get rough, you start lusting and you go after those old things.
Right.
You start to navigate towards those old ways. You feel me? When you have to understand that these things, the demons thrive off of. So guess what? When you get angry, get focused, get sober, get vigilant. When that lust come up on you, get sober, get vigilant, get tight. When pride comes, you lean on those things. That's the spirit of the law. Because now, guess what? The first thing, it comes as a thought. You recognize the anger. You recognize what's happening. You identify the problem. So now you're a disciple of the Most High. Now you get focused and now you move out. You handle your business. You do what you have to do. But don't let the anger control you. Don't let the lust control you. Don't let the pride control you. And don't let the bitterness control you. Don't let the fear control you. Don't. We have to change that. Give me Colossians 3:5.
Kind out of one kind.
We have to change that. Hold on. Go up. Let's see. Give me a second. Okay. This is what we have to do. We have to change it. And how do we change it? We behind the enemy line. We telling you what he doing. Now the Most High is explaining and letting you know how to fix it. You know what's heavy about the transatlantic slave trade? What's heavy about the transatlantic slave trade? It tell you why it happened, and it tell you how to fix it. It tell you how it happened. It tell you how to fix it. Our people, even though they know that we're not fixed, they still, no matter what, will not lean on how to fix it. They still just won't accept it. They'll say over and over and over again, I don't understand why black people can't get it together. I don't understand why this always keep happening to us. Why this is that? Why this? Why that? Why that? We're doing the same thing. You know, it's an old saying. Hey, it's an old saying. The saying is, if you keep doing the same thing, expecting different results, that person is RD. I can't say that.
No, you can't say that.
Did they hear you over here?
I muted.
All right. Yeah, so I can't say that. I can't even give you that, but
We can say that? Oh, we won't get clipped or nothing? Okay. No
okay, so now I can say it. Yeah, you know, it's an old saying. The old saying is this, that if you keep doing the same things over and over, expecting different results, that's a person that's retarded. Yeah. That's just an old saying. All right. But it has a lot of substance and a lot of truth to it. All right. What you have to do is exactly this. You got that Colossians 3:5.
Kind out of one kind.
Mm-hmm.
This is the book of Colossians, chapter 3 and verse 5. Mortify therefore your members, which are upon the earth, fornication, uncleanliness, inordinate affection, evil concupiscence, and covetousness, which is idolatry.
Now, all of those things come from the law. All those things come from the law. That's that internal thing. But look, it says modify. Modify means to put to death, subdue it. All right. That's what it means. You have to subdue that. You have to recognize it, that I'm angry, and I know what I used to do. And I know how I used to handle this. I know I'm afraid. I know I'm bitter. I know I'm angry, but I have to mortify my behavior. I have to mortify my actions. The members, that tongue, you really got to subdue that. I always bring that tongue up because we don't really think about the things that we say. And it's hard to take back some things that you say sometimes. All right. So by mortifying, putting to death and subduing those members, right? This is an action of you being obedient, not passive behavior, right? Is you being obedient. And it's showing that you have a form of control. All right. You have to subject your body. That's your reasonable service. Ain't that what the scriptures say? That's your reasonable service. So let's start modifying, right?
No,
Mortifying.
Right here. to actively put to death or subdue sinful desires, habits, and the sinful nature through the power of the Spirit.
Mortify. Salaki at the water.
More.
See, I was thinking, like, you get a modification. Hey, yo, let me get Matthew 12 and 43. Matthew 12 and 43. So now we got the plan. We know what to do. We know how to deal with it. We recognize the anger. We recognize those things that the demon thrives off of. We recognize that, right? Now, and then we mortify those members. We don't respond the way we used to respond. We don't act the way we used to act. All right. So when this happens, you have to understand something transpires, right? You at 43? All right, you got it. This is what happens. This is what takes place with all of us that claim that we coming into the truth. Those that claim that they followers of Yahushua, which is known to the world as Jesus Christ. Go ahead.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 12 and verse 43. When the unclean spirit is gone out of a man, he walketh through dry places, seeking rest, and findeth none. So
this is what happens with this unclean spirit when it's gone out of the man, right? It's in dry places. It's seeking. It's seeking and it's trying to find somewhere, and it finds none because you have rejected it. You have cleaned it out. You've got rid of this spirit. Keep going.
Then he saith, I will return into my house from whence I came out.
See, those are those old ways. Those old ways of doing things. Those and causing the body, the members of the body to react the old way. That's what that is. He wants to return. He wants to come back. It didn't forget. It didn't forget what it once knew and once learned, and once it was cozy in there. That unclean spirit was cozy in the house because y'all was one. The unclean spirit and y'all was one. But now, guess what? You got rid of it. Now that unclean spirit wants to come back because it was warm and cozy in there. Keep going.
And when he is come, he findeth it empty, swept, and garnished.
Man, you done cleaned it out for me. Good. Now the challenge comes. Now here comes the challenge, because now something is triggering you. Something is triggering you, right? Read.
Verse 45. Then goeth he and taketh with himself 7 other spirits more wicked than himself.
Oh man, that trigger, we got it now, because I got 7 more spirits with me. That's more wicked than the one that I had. That the one that you had. So now it's coming back even harder now, because now the stakes are bigger. Everything is bigger now. You claiming to be a child of the Most High. So we coming back hard. Keep going.
And they enter in and dwell there. And the last state of that man is worse than the first.
Now you're acting worse than you did before, because now that carnal minded that brought that evil demon, that unclean spirit back, it came back with 7. And it's coming back even harder now. Now you can't even believe the things that you're saying with that little member. You can't believe the things that you're doing, my brother, with those members. You can't believe the things that you're doing at this point. Because now those 7 spirits that came that's more wicked than the first one, they got you in your bag now. They got you all in drama. It's horrible. It's horrible, because that empty house attracts stronger spirits. When you claim that the house is clean and now you had a very good week, guess what? It's attracting stronger spirits. That's what it's doing. So you got to put away that old man. Give me Ephesians 4 and 24. Let's go back there. This is where we at now. Building the man to defend yourself in this warfare. Defend yourself in this warfare right now. All right. You got it?
Khan Adawan Khan.
All right. Hold on. Pull him up. Ephesians. All right.
This is the book of Ephesians, chapter 4 and verse 24.
Mm-hmm.
And that ye put on the new man.
So that new man, that's that Christ figure. That's that Christ mind. That's that Christ way. That's that spiritual law. That's that law that is spiritual, that makes you holy, that makes you set apart. One more time.
Khan Adawan Khan, the book of Ephesians, chapter 4 and verse 24. And that ye put on the new man,
Mm-hmm.
which after God is created in righteousness and true holiness.
That's how you fix it. You put on that new man. That's what you do. Once you put on that new man, now you're being more disciplined. Now you're being more under control. And guess what? It's going to manifest life. The new man is constructed this way when you put on that man and you put on that newness of knowledge, that renewed knowledge. Even Christ had to grow in knowledge and wisdom. What is that? Luke 2 and 52. Everybody has to grow. Everybody has to put on that new man. Yeah, that's Luke chapter 2 and verse 52. It says Jesus increased in wisdom and stature and favor with the Most High. So everybody has to go through a process of growth. I'm not saying that you don't have to. You're not going to have that process of growth. But in the same token, come on, like you've been in the truth now 10 years. Good night. You still doing what you was doing 11 years ago. You've been in the truth 5 years, and you're still doing what you did 6 years ago. All right. This is what we cannot have. Now we got to look at the external war, the environment, and the. Go ahead.
And if I could, just a precept of what you have bring out about the knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
This is the book of 2 Peter chapter 3 and verse 17.
2 Peter. You said 2 Peter 3 and
In verse 17.
17. Mm-hmm.
Salakia, verse 18.
18.
Salakia. But grow in grace and in knowledge of our Lord and Savior Yahushua Mashiach.
Mm-hmm.
To him be glory both now and forever. Amen.
Amen. Yeah, that knowledge is everything. And that's what we do day and night. But we don't just have that knowledge. That knowledge becomes internal. It becomes an internal thing. Give me 1 Corinthians 5 and 33. Look, the eternal thing is important because the internal thing deals with the environment. It deals with who you are associated with, who you hanging out with. You know what I'm saying? That's what dealing with the external part of it. So we go into 1 Corinthians.
And you said 1 Corinthians 5 and
15, Salakia, 15 and 33.
15.
15 and 33. So remember, once again, we're dealing with the warfare and we're dealing with the external part. All right. This one right here is a very important one. And we look past it. We don't allow these things that Paul is teaching us on how to be in the spirit of the law. We don't really exercise this. We don't really think about this. We don't really understand that you can be influenced by your environment. Go ahead.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 15 and verse 33.
Mm-hmm.
Be not deceived. Evil communications corrupt good manners.
Don't get that misunderstood. Evil communication, yes, it does that. Just that. It corrupts good manners. You forget how to act because you started. No, seriously, you forget how to act because you're so used to acting and behaving that old way and being around that evil communication. It starts to become a habit. it becomes law, as the scripture said, it becomes law that manifests in your members and bring forth death. That's what it does. So evil communication corrupts good manners. We don't think about that. We don't think that the environment and the people that we're around and listening to all the time, we don't think about it. Demons often work through other people. Social media is big for that. It's big for that. Environment is everything. Everything. Give me Psalms 1:1.
Psalms 1:1.
Psalms 1:1. This is how you gotta be. You gotta seek the proper counsel. And that proper counsel is coming from the law. It's coming from the spirit of it. That's that brotherhood. You can't say, and I just can't keep saying this. You cannot say that you're a brother and you're doing something to another brother that you would not want it to be done to you, right, or said to you or spoken to you. It's impossible. And look, this is coming from your old ways. That's how you used to act. That's how you used to talk to another brother. That's how you used to talk. But now it ain't no more of this. You really with brothers. So that way of old, you got to get rid of it. And you got to get away from that bad environment. You have to. What you got?
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 1 and verse 1. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly. So that's how you are blessed. That's how you are holy. That counsel of the ungodly, that's the old way. That's the old you. That's the 10 toes down, how you used to be, how you used to act. You can't do that no more, because now it's what? Read it again. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners.
That's how you fix it. That's how you fix the problem. You fix the problem by getting rid of the old man, putting on the new man, and operating in a broader sense of brotherhood, and fighting off these demons from the internal mind and the external, from your mind, the environment all around you, all of that. That's what it's all about. That's what we battling. That's what we fighting. Don't give up this fight. You just came into this truth. Don't think it's going to get all easy now. Don't think now, every day is going to be sunny. It's going to be some dark and heavy days. In those dark and heavy days, they're going to want you to identify with certain thoughts and behaviors. Don't do that. Don't go back to the old way. Go to the new way. Follow the commandments in spirit. All right. All right, so that's about it. I'm going to turn the class over to Priest and Officer Kahal.
Let me just get the camera situated.
Salaki. I mean, look, this war that we battling is a serious thing. This is a real war here.
Not too far. So, lucky y'all, bear with me. I'm about to get to the announcements. It's all the way on the rafters. Good night.
There you go. Oh, okay, you letting them see the place. All right. Yeah, we got lights everywhere. That's right.
All right, this is the ISUPK security announcements. Rules for new brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes to the school, they are off limits. They are to be saluted only. If a brother or sister needs a ride, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, they are to seek counsel from the heads. Tithes, which is a commandment that can be found in Numbers chapter 18 and verse 21, and also Malachi chapter 3, 8 through 10. In Hebrew, it means ma'ashera, which is 10% of any increase the Lord gives you. We also do have a priest fund or a free will offering that is not mandatory, but it is greatly appreciated. All right, you can just donate whatever amount is on your heart. Up and coming Holy Convocations, I believe that's in February. That's the Feast of Purim. Do I have that right? No, sorry, Christ. So we'll be having it here at 51 North Blue Hen Drive. All right. If you want to be a trooper in the school, remember to wear all black boots, black pants, shirt, and headband. And with that being said, men of Israel, Amijah, which means to stand. Men of Israel, Amijah, Barak,
Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shabbarakathum.
Guys, we're time. We're going to sorry. We're going to give the sisters a courtesy salute. All right, men of Israel, Amijah Shabbat, Amijah, Barak,
Yahweh Shema Adam Hashem Yahweh Shah.
Yahweh class dismissed.
Let's touch it.